Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a daily tarot oracle reading, Tattle Tales from the Vector. This is a general or collective reading, so just be aware parts of it may or may not resonate. Take what works for you, leave the rest. Also, this is a timely reading, meaning if you're watching it at this time, it is the perfect time for you. Having said that, what is going on in your life back when I posted this, if it's been a while, that will give you further information to clarify your situation now. We're going to begin with the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck, and we have the energy. Ooh, my goodness, what a start. We have the devil. All right, so here we go. So the underlying energy is the devil trying to come in with some temptation. The devil energy is these two lovers are chained. They're basically yoked to each other and chained to Saturn's box. He is sitting crouched in between them. This represents basic animal instinct. So this energy is talking about this being more lust than love. And this energy, temptation, is not something that you can really get the truth from. It's very manipulative. So the devil gets someone a minion to do his dirty work for him. So we're going to just check and see what energy comes in. I always take the next card up. I want to see what comes in what minion is he sending in? What is it about? Does God cover it? Let's see here. Disappointment in love. Yeah, okay. So this energy here is talking about being disappointed in your love life. Definitely, it looks like that we have 3 cups here. So this is, you may have given this person 3 chances already. 3 strikes, you're out. They're asking for a 4th chance and you're saying no way. And this energy also could be that your lover stepped out on you, and what was supposed to be couple is a threesome energy. Sometimes this can represent a baby being produced from this union. I'm not sure that that's the case, but definitely this is talking about disappointment. And so that's off to kind of a bleak start, but let's see. Let's say that it gets better from here. That kind of energy. Just going to double check the spacing of this. Yes, okay. I was doing a different type of reading before this. I was working on the end of the month readings for the month of April. If you can imagine, it's almost the end of the April already. Crazy. So this is the Knight of Pentacles coming in. This is, the Knights would deliver communication from one kingdom to another quite often. This was the only form of long distance communication they have, so it would always be delivered in person, and then the Knight would wait for the answer and deliver it back. So of course it would take longer, but that was the only long distance communication they had. Nowadays this would represent an energy of, it could be a phone call, a text message, something coming in the mail, maybe an email. You might be messaged on social media and maybe go to an event that you see posted there and run into someone in person. Also, it's a good idea to check out what's happening at the top of the pyramid with the leaders of the country, because whatever's happening with them is generally going to be happening to a different degree with everybody beneath. And the page, or the Knight of Pentacles, I just want to talk about this for a second more. The Pentacles represent the energy of health, wealth, and happiness in the 3rd dimensional plane. So this is representing also money, of course, because the coin is representing our need for money when we live in the 3D. Having said that, you could have all the money in the world and still not be living the lifestyle that you want. So the Pentacles are more about lifestyle than money. And then we have this energy here of the this is representing rough water. It represents volatile emotions, maybe some chaos in your life, especially with this energy here, not unlikely. And so this energy is talking about wanting to go off to calmer waters and conferring with God to do so. So the conveyor of this boat has to dig deep with this pole to be able to get out of this rough water and into the smooth water. So that is representing that you may have to dig deep within yourself and face all your fears. This energy here with the 2 swords and the child and the adult with no baggage quite often can represent a need to heal your inner child energy. And so that might, going off and meditating and praying in isolation, so that you can get to some clarity in your situation. And then we have the judgment coming in. So judgment is going to come in from the spiritual realm down to the physical. This is, the trumpet is blowing. The ancestors are literally climbing out of their boxes. They're like, woohoo, justice is here. Judgment is called. And the descendants are waving to them from across the waters here. And this, you see, this is rough water. So this represents an energy that possibly your ancestors had unfinished business. That could be your parents, your your grandparents, your great-grandparents down the bloodline. And finally they're excited, or they've been watching what you've been going through, and ecstatic that finally judgment is being called and you deserve better than this. This is the Nine of Pentacles energy. So the Nine of Pentacles, this could be the information coming in after judgment is called, that this money is coming through. This is a lot of money. There's only 10 pentacles in the tarot. So if you think about 10 pentacles being the billionaires, this would be the multimillionaire energy. This is also talking about, if you've ever heard of Nikola Tesla, the wonderful inventor and genius, he would talk about the beauty of the 369, and it's a ratio basically of keeping that ratio. And we have 9 coins here, and this always reminds me of his energy. She has, it's a ratio that she keeps. And this is pre-Empress energy, so she is has been through a lot, and I feel this is your energy representing the collective, and having gone through a lot. And the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight of them all. So by the time he comes in with this energy, you've been through a lot, and you've went and asked God for help, and now judgment is coming in. So this could be about your love life for sure. And then also with the Lovers and the Devil energy, but it could be that there was money involved as well, which is not unlikely with the Devil energy. So this is talking about a ratio and keeping a ratio. This is talking 6, she's got her hand on 6 and 3 in the bush here. So that's 9 in total. This is 2/3 she makes sure she keeps for herself, so that she can pay her house bills, her business bills, everything that she needs to pay, and then have a little extra left over for what, in case there's emergencies, etc. She has this energy here of maybe one of these pentacles is to invest in a more risky investment so that she can get a higher return, and then possibly one for charity, and maybe another for saving for a vacation for the family, that kind of energy. And the pre-Empress energy means that because of everything that this person has been through, she's now learned so much that she's almost at an Empress status. This is like, the Empress is like having the life experience to be at the level of an Empress, which in the Empress in the is in the major arcana, and she is like a generator for like being able to manifest. And so that's the kind of energy like you're headed towards for sure. We have, yes, you've been in a mental prison. I feel like it's due to this energy, of course, if your partner is hanging out with the Devil energy, and is always giving into temptation in that. If you're, especially if you're married to them and you have children and that kind of energy, it can be a real challenging way to live. And so this is talking about like being in a mental prison. And a lot of times, like, this is representing someone who feels duty bound. And so maybe duty bound to your vows, but not, that's not really what you sign up for when you sign up for marriage with someone. So this is talking about a lot of emotion. And I feel like at one time there was way more emotion here, like more water. And, water in tarot represents emotion. The swords are representing your mental intelligence, your intellect, and your thoughts, basically your mind, discipline of your mind. And so this is talking about having to work through a lot of thoughts. Like there's eight swords here, and there's one in the front here, and these other ones are behind her. You do have your right foot forward, which is representing ready to take action. It's on dry ground, and I feel like maybe there was more water there before, but the left foot is still in that puddle. It is a shallow puddle, and that's not, I'm not saying your emotions are shallow, but I'm saying that there's less emotion than there was when you first started here. And I feel like if there's so much emotion, it's hard to work through, you know, to get neutral enough to make strong decisions. And so I feel like you've worked through 9 different decisions here, and now you have this last one, and it's kind of, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I've come to the conclusion, this is what I need to do. And like kind of stepping out of the binding and really being willing to look at it from like really what happened, and not hiding from the truth, you know, of the situation. This is talking about feeling like you've been left out in the cold. Like you know, it's not a good feeling when the person that you're supposed to be closest with is, you know, like putting you in this position. And I feel like maybe on some level you just feel like you were almost like frozen, you know. Like sometimes people, like if you just, maybe like you were going through a lot of other things in your life and you just really couldn't deal with it at that time. So you're now stepping into this role where you have to, because you've been pushed out into the cold here. And this is representing, like, this person is on crutches, and they also are wearing a plague bell. And so this is talking about being isolated from society. In the old days, if someone was considered to maybe be carrying the plague, they didn't have apps back then to isolate people from society. And so they would tie a big bell around their neck, and then people would be able to hear them coming when they came into town. And of course that would make it very challenging to get a job, or you know, to get groceries, even to do anything. People would go running in the opposite direction. And then we have someone who doesn't even have shoes here. There's only 5 pentacles between the two of them. It's not enough to have a proper lifestyle. So I do feel like this is representing that this energy here is also, there were some tactics maybe involving other people, and you had to deal with that as well. That left you out in the cold, other people knowing what was going on and not telling you. And maybe they were even participating in a way that it didn't just involve your love life, but it also involved your money. And of course your lifestyle. Well, just the fact that that was happening behind your back would be difficult for your lifestyle. But it's also like calculated tactics to isolate you, keep you in that position, so that they could, while you were down basically in dealing with all this, that they would be able to go after this energy here. And that's what I feel this is representing, tactics. And you know, anyone can handle a flake or two, but when a bunch of people pile up together, and especially if they're people that are from your inner circle and you feel duty bound to them, like you feel like these are people that love, you know, that you care about, and you find out they don't care about you in the same way you cared about them, like friends and family, that kind of energy, co-workers, whatever it is, that you now are feeling isolated. And this could be like ruining your career and your reputation and all the stress and everything that's happening. So this is talking about sometimes, you know, tactics being played, and anyone can handle a flake or two, but when the snow piles up and it won't stop snowing, it can get really heavy, and it can literally collapse the roof of your house, you know, if there's too much. And then we have this energy, but this is a cycle that's ending. In the major arcana, it starts at the 0 point, and the 0 point is when the Fool starts off in his journey, and that energy is talking about, you know, ending at the World card. And so that means that you've completed the cycle, you've done everything that you can to be in the energy, you know, or to you know, do your part in this, to get out of it, and that's all you can do. And it's time, you know, to end this cycle and start a new one, a better one. Yeah, letting go of the regret and the remorse from this relationship. The thing is, people can stay in this energy, you know, for a very long time. It's like crying over spilt milk. Once it's in the ground, and you know, you're not going to be able to get that back. It's a loss that you have to accept. And this is talking about 3 cups here, and 2 of them have wine in them, and one of them has like another liquid in it. And so the best thing to do is turn around and notice, hey, there's 2 cups standing here. You still have, you know, you have the ability to move forward still. And so appreciating that energy and then moving forward as best you can, going down the path, cross the bridge over the troubled waters, and then get to your castle. And in the background, you can see the castle is half dilapidated and half standing. And that energy is representing your attitude. Are you going to look at the situation as the glass half empty or the glass half full? A good attitude can get you a long way. And so that's the energy that we have there. Yeah, a lot of sabotage here, goodness sakes, to put you in that energy. This is talking about the 10 of Swords is representing, you know, like this backstabbing energy behind your back, a lot of negative energy being said about you, your reputation, like that, you know, all of these are representing attacks on another level. And it can even represent that this has been happening for over a decade. It can represent, you know, an energy of one person, you know, like on an annual basis, basically doing this, or it could be 10 people involved, or even 10 groups of people. This is a lot of money. So if you know, you're asking yourself, why would people who I care about and that I have love for do this to me? Generally, when it boils down to it, some people will do anything for money. And quite often that will, if you follow the money, you'll find that. And I feel like that's why this energy here is coming through. And also it can just be like falling into temptation. And then once, you know, their affiliation or their, you know, their, what's the word I want to say? Not their, I can't find the word, but it's kind of the energy they put into it. Now they're giving the energy they would have and should have been giving you, and they're giving it to someone else, and it's behind your back. So this is someone who's been left here as if they're unalive, and you know, just left there. And it's talking about, though there's light at the end of the tunnel, this person does have their hand in the form of a blessing, which is representing an energy of this being a blessing in disguise. Because now, you know, like when sometimes maybe your intuition was telling you, you know, you need to deal with something, and you just didn't really want to see it. You know, like a lot of times we can hide from what's really going on. And sometimes that's God's protection. Sometimes just even being in this position, rejection is God's protection, because this is a blessing in disguise. So when the truth comes out, you're going to be better off. And if you're not involved with these people anymore because they've rejected you, then when the karma hits them, you'll be out of the way. So that's kind of the energy. Yeah, this is learning. See, this pre-empress energy, quite often when the queens come in after that, it talks about the journey of how someone becomes like into how you manage to rise to the empress energy. And you know, a lot of people are like, I want to be the empress. But being an empress is not, you know, fun and games a lot of the time. It's talking about you know, really going through enough life experience and having enough life experiences and still managing to keep your heart open and stay on your destined path, and you know, not fall for the temptation that a lot of other people do. It can be a very challenging journey. It's very satisfying, of course, in the end, but when you're in it, it's pretty challenging. And so this is learning the discernment. So the Queen of Swords is considered to be the coldest of all the queens, and that might be the energy you've been in, because why not? I mean, here you are, right? Been left out in the cold, so you're feeling pretty cold. And this person doesn't even have shoes on. So this is talking about, you know, she's been there, done that, has the t-shirt. She has the souvenir, and she does have her left hand out, though she's willing to receive. She just doesn't want to put up with any more bullshit. She's just in that mood. So she's talking about, you know, off with your head if you should come in incorrect. She's ready for the truth. She's got her head above the clouds. And so she knows what she wants. She has clarity. And that's where I feel you're at now. It's like, okay, I have clarity. I'm building a pyramid here. So this is talking about sort of what's going on and the tools you have. And these are the obstacles that you've come across on this journey. We do have, okay, so this is interesting, because it's saying that when this energy is resolved. Like when something comes in, this is what you really deserve. This is what your ancestors, like why they're like, yay, finally, judgment is being called. And perhaps like this is representing generational wealth. And so there's something that's gone on here. Maybe that you didn't receive something you were supposed to in a will, or it could be an inheritance, a trust fund, some sort of energy that the ancestors can see going on, and that's why they're not resting and why they're coming out of their boxes and cheering because this judgment is coming in. When the judgment comes in, you know, spiritual court is in session, then that eventually comes down to the earth, and then you are being, you know, it goes into the energy of the actually third dimensional world, and in, you know, actual courts of law, that kind of energy. And sometimes with this energy, it can, you know, be something to that effect. I feel that this is saying that this is going to be over, that you did deserve to have like this love with someone, and that someone is coming in. This is representing a divine partner being sent in. And maybe this will be even someone that would be able to empower you to get the justice that you deserve. This is the wounded warrior energy. Man, this energy has been coming in a lot in the last 2 weeks in my readings. I hadn't seen the wounded warrior for a long time, and then all of a sudden, bang, there. You know, it's just that kind of energy. And I feel like a lot of it has to do with the astrological influences. We've had a lot of astrological influences that have been pretty significant. And on April 25th, like as I'm doing this reading, there was actually a full moon last night, or not a full moon, a new moon last night. And it was in the sign of Aries. And so the moon joined 6 other planets in the sign of Aries that have moved to Aries in the last, you know, few months. And this is like kind of almost like it's very rare for this to happen. And like some astrologers were saying it hasn't happened and probably won't happen again for 500 to 800 years. So it's not a small event. And because when the Aries energy is about new, about doing things in a new way. So when we have that many planets moving in there, and now the moon on top of it last night, it's a lot of energy for people to deal with. And so a lot of people are maybe like, this is representing having managed to sow seeds for projects or actions that you wanted to take. These the wands represent taking action, having passion in life and taking action. And so this is, you know, you sow seeds and then they grow into these wands, and this is the harvest. But so you've been from your actions basically, and sometimes other people's actions, and you managed to get 8, you know, done, and that's like there's only 10. You're leaning hard on this 9th one. This one is closest to your heart, but you can see like this person has like a band-aid on their head. They've got a headache from all of the, you know, I feel this is your energy and why you're now in this energy. And this could also be saying like you thought you had this, but then you found out it was this. And yeah, to get yourself back up again, to get up and keep going is something you deserve a lot of congratulations for. Having a passion again for new life. I feel like this is talking about you having a passion again now for new life, like having new passion in your life, and that you deserve to have that. But it's also talking at the same time about what happened here, why you had to go off, because your partner was in this energy. And so this page energy is representing communication coming in, also just like the Knight of Pentacles, but this is a younger version. So then the pages would work for the king and queen and the rest of the court, you know, and within the palace walls when they were younger. And, you know, in those days, people's lifespan wasn't that old, so they would start working like around 7 to 14 years of age, depending on how mature they were. And so a lot of times the pages would come from the families in the area that were like higher society, you know, more well educated, and they would learn the ropes at the palace. And then if they worked out, they might even be offered a knighthood if they could afford a horse when they were older, around 21. And so this is representing, each of the pages have an element, just like the knights. And so this page is his element is the element of fire, and represented by the wood of the wand. And the wood, it feeds fire. And it's also representing passion. And as you can see, like, this is a young male, masculine energy. So these days it could be a female as well. In those days it would always be a male. But this can represent a female in her masculine energy, a feather in the cap, and, you know, well put together, and someone that loves to explore the world and is ready for adventure, you know, someone who's very enthusiastic about life. So it's not like you have to be a younger person to be in this energy, but it's like being in that energy of a younger person, being young-hearted, which with this energy we have of Uranus moving into the sign of Gemini on the April 25th is the perfect energy to be in, except for when it leads you to temptation. Because the thing about the Page of Wands is, what you need to kind of be aware of is, you know, I mean, he really admires his wand, and it's all about his passion. And so he tends to think with his little head rather than his big head a lot of the time. And so you have to keep in mind that his information and communication can be, you know, in that range. He's not always that clear. So you just have to keep that in mind. And I feel that's the energy that your ex-partner got into, and now this is a really beneficial energy, because it's enthusiasm for life, and, you know, wanting to wake up in the morning and be like all enthusiastic and passionate about what you're doing. But at the same time, if it's taken too far, it can be like really destructive. And then we have, that's when you're walked away. That's this person may have walked away from the relationship to be with the other person, or it could be an energy that you walked away because of it. It doesn't really matter at this point. Just the fact that you're separated is beneficial for you, because being in this energy, and with that person being in this energy, and if you're feeling this way, and you're feeling this way and this way, this is like energy that you needed to get the heck out of. This is not this isn't like someone sort of didn't like you. This is a calculated effort to take you and put you in this position here and leave you there, you know, to fend for yourself, basically, in that energy. And here we have, you know, this Eight of Cups is talking about walking away, and there's like 5 lined up here. And then all of a sudden there's 2 in a gap, and this third one. So it's like this third party energy created a gap here. And it's kind of like, it's walking away from the relationship, either them or you, or both, basically. And then we have the full moon and new moon. And sometimes I feel like this is representing the eclipse energy. We just had an eclipse season on the 17th of February, and then again on March 3rd. And the thing is about eclipses is they tend to be like, I've been describing it as potpourri, you know, simmering back on the back burner of the stove. And this energy, it's like 6 months later, you might look and go, whoa, you don't even realize it at the time, because you're so in it, you know. But boy, did I ever get a lot done, or wow, has my life ever changed, you know, in the last 6 months. If you want to know more about the eclipse energy and how it might affect you, I did do a reading for every sign, and that would be in my playlist on new moon, full moon. You can take a look there if you want to know more about it, if you feel like it's coming up now. And then we have this energy of, some major conflict here. It's talking about, you know, having to already have fought off 2 people here, and saying like, okay, if I have to, I'll take on a third, and you're tired. So this is talking about, you know, a lot of conflict right now, and wanting not to be in that anymore, basically wanting calmness in your life. We have the conception here. I kept picking this energy up right away from the beginning, that your partner might have even gotten someone pregnant. I think I mentioned that at the beginning. This card here is, while you were busy landing these 8 wands, they might have landed, that kind of, because this can represent conception of a baby. So that energy could be a possibility as well. But more importantly, this is talking about whatever you launched here is now landed. So the harvest for your efforts is about to come in. And this conflict is shifting, like you're moving into a different energy. And this is talking about when you went off to be with God. Like, this is the hermit goes to the top of the mountain, and it's to isolate. So he climbs a mountain, and when he gets to the top, he sits and he communes with God through meditation and prayer. And when his lantern is full of the light of the North Star energy, the North Star represents your North Node energy, and that's when you're following your destined path. That's when he comes down from the mountain, and he moves forward, in this way. Takes action with what he learned from being up there. You don't have to actually climb a mountain, but it's that kind of energy. And then there's a reward of pentacles coming in, and that might be this information is finally coming in. The night is slow, but when he does come in, it's usually with some real solid information that you can, that it's worth waiting for, kind of energy. And this is talking a big reward of pentacles coming in. Because you followed your path, and this is a collaboration of the Most High with the universe to make sure that you receive this reward. I'm just double checking my camera here because I bumped. Yeah, good. I just want to make sure. And then we have this energy here of the 2 of Pentacles, or 2 of Wands. Yeah, so this is saying that you're thinking about moving forward. If this is coming in for you, it might be like, hey, I'm ready to leave. Sometimes that's what this energy is. This card also represents to me entrepreneur energy, like someone who's been successful and you've landed this, and maybe now you're like, hey, I should maybe start a franchise or something like that, maybe, or wanting just to get away and expand your horizons in a new way, taking this energy maybe and starting maybe taking it in a slightly different direction, or maybe if you were online, opening up a retail, that kind of energy. And so he has the world in his hands here, and this is representing, I have the world in my hands. But he does recognize that he is, he's surveying his domain, and he realized, oh, the place I'm from is only like 5,000 people. So he's like a big fish in a little pond. And he needs to he knows if he moves to a bigger center, he'll be a little fish in a big pond, but then he'll have a lot more opportunity. And maybe with all this energy going on, it's the time to do so. Yeah, and then look at, that's when the new cup of love comes in. So maybe this is coming in. This is representing the knight in shining armor that you read about in the romance novels and in the movies, the one that comes in. And, they're all shiny and, full of love and wanting to take the relationship to the next level. So this energy could be like, because this promise of this lovers here. And I feel like, once this energy comes in and there's this 9 of Pentacles energy, then that's when this is all happening. Because it's sitting right, the lover's energy and the judgment are sitting here like in a line here. And so that's part of the judgment, that you should have the pentacles, the reward for staying on your path, and someone, and this is representing, like, if you look at this, like the cloud in between them represents maybe someone that you never have met before. And it can also represent an energy of someone that would not be your usual type. And quite often, that's not a bad thing. Like, because if this was your usual type, I mean, when you look at this, look at the difference. Like, which, this looks a lot more fun than this energy here. So, yeah, it's saying you're moving up there, and this is already launched, and here it is now. You've the knight in shining armor showing up. And this is, again, it's talking about taking little moments for yourself where you know, the hangman hangs from the tree of knowledge upside down like that so that he can gain a totally different perspective on his situation. And then when he, you know, he's hanging from the tree of knowledge, and then when his aura lights up, it's like similar to when the energy of the hermit, when his lantern lights up with the North Star energy, it's like, okay, that's the way I'm going to go. So yeah, it's looking like things are really looking up here. And it has the moon energy. So moon is talking about hidden secrets and illusions being, that you're going to start get the truth and really understand what was going on here. And that justice is coming through because of it. Not just because of that, but it's coming through, and that is part of the justice, basically, is not having all these hidden secrets that other people know about and you don't, that kind of energy. And so climbing out of the water here, this lobster is like, man, I got to come out of this pond and keep on my path no matter what, and make myself vulnerable. And this is talking sometimes about climbing out of the dark, emotions, from this energy and accepting this cup of love. So this could be you, like, oh man, am I really brave enough? Do I really want to open my heart up like that to someone again? I mean, is this too good to be true? I thought this was good, and then look at what's happened here. And so it's kind of like, it's hard, like it can be really challenging. And we see again this energy here showing the full moon, the new moon, and the sun. So this is again representing that eclipse energy from a month ago, and that, is going to be with us for about another 6 months, basically. And it's also talking about, there's a domestic dog here and a wolf, and they're both howling at the moon. And it's about staying in between these two pillars, right? And so there's some energy there of, like that fear of vulnerability. And it can also be saying that you've been isolating now, okay, you're out of isolation now, you need to get out. Like you need to, you're being a little bit too domestic, or it can be you've been out and about, and you need to tame in your wild side. But I feel like this would be more appropriate for this energy over here. Whereas you have been more, it's time for you to get out and enjoy life again. Yeah, the never-ending nightmare energy, I feel that this is saying it's over now, because of this card, and all of this energy of like the sun shining on this relationship, and the healing work that you've done. So this is really good energy, like going on and checking in, praying, meditating, making it a habit in your life that you do that. And so this can be talking about a never-ending nightmare that's not ending, but then being like maybe having prayed and asked God for guidance and that, and it comes to you in the wee hours of the morning through the Holy Spirit, and even through your dreams. And maybe your ancestors have also been trying to get through to you through your dreams. The dreams can be really vivid. I've been having like some very vivid dreams lately, and I think a lot of that is like it's around this moon energy, but it's also because the moon has moved into Aries, and that's about with all those other planets. So it's kind of like, whoa, it's pretty intense energy. This quilt on the bed is saying that the universe has you covered. There's cosmic symbols on this coat. It does say, though, that you're going to have to leave your comfort zone. And so that's talking about you're going to have to put yourself back out there. If you want to have this, you're going to need to, put your energy into it. And there we have it. You've decided to go on a new journey. Yay. So now this is talking like you're on a brand new cycle. Now, the Fool is taking a leap of faith, but you notice his sleeves are tattered here. So it's not like he's just like starting from fresh and never having gone through a cycle or anything. This is talking about like this pre-Empress energy, and I wouldn't be surprised if this pushes you into Empress energy now, that you're ready to take a leap of faith and embrace this opportunity that's coming up for you. So congratulations on that. The Wheel of Fortune is turning. Woohoo! So this is talking about the past, the present, and the future all coming together in synchronicity, so that You can have like this beautiful lifestyle that you've been wanting. You deserve this. It looks like you've been through a lot and you've done a lot of work on yourself to, you know, put things back in order for yourself, to make some sense of it. And it can be challenging to do if you're down in this position, to get back up and not be bitter, and, you know, and keep your heart open for love to come in for you still. Congratulations on that. This is talking about the perfect order of the world coming together for you. You're on your destined path, and this is about God's energy behind this, his plan. And you're on the chariot, yeah. So this is talking about really being on that path now, like solid. Good for you. And this is like, so the chariot energy coming in, this is a really awesome energy to be in, because it's like, this is like a tank almost. Like, you notice there's no reins. It's just like, get out of my way, I'm coming through. I'm on my destined path. A passion for new discovery. Awesome, yeah. And another ace there. So the aces are representing this new energy, these new gifts coming to you, because you have an open mind and you've embraced the energy, and you are willing to heal and go after what it is that you want, and to be like on, you know, you've made a very clear choice here that you're going to stick to God's energy and take God's advice rather than the devil's. And so this wouldn't work out. Like, there's no way that's going to work out when you've got someone in that energy and you're on your destined path. It's just going to lead to more of this if you stay there, right? And look at this, we have the Ace of Cups, and it's talking about, yes, this is that true love energy. Wow, 3 aces here. The aces have been coming up in these readings, but like, this is really good. You've got the Pentacles, so the lifestyle, the passion, and romantic love, you know, and this is talking about lasting, you know, like, and peaceful, like not something that you're always wondering, I wonder what they're up to now kind of energy. Someone that you can actually rely on. That's a really awesome energy. Yeah, and if you're in this energy, then you're attracting someone who's, you know, a high level energy. We don't have a lot. I mean, it could be, the page is too young to be in that energy. And I feel like the Knight of Pentacles, it could be the Knight of Pentacles, but I think it's a little bit more than that. I have a feeling just from this that you maybe haven't even met this person yet. And it's around the corner now, you know, like once you have to kind of, I feel like, make the decision that this is what I'm going after, that I deserve the love and the passion. And you know, I've done everything I can to get back into this position. You're being honored by the Most High and the universe. And this is talking like from the bottom up and back down again. This is talking about, you know, some information coming in about lifestyle and that. And that's could be the whole enchilada here, basically. And it's, but after that happens, you make this change. You see, that's where you come out of the cold and you make this decision, and then you find out just how bad it really, like, there was more people involved in this than you thought. You were left out in the cold here, and you knew that, but no one was there for you when you were here, and you probably were like laying there and thinking, where is everybody? You know, and these might be people that you did a lot for, and then you turn cold from it, you know. But then God is saying, no, like, you've been saying, I need your help. Like, we've got the Hermit here, and we've got like the going off to calm waters, and we also have the hanging from the Hangman. So you've done your shadow work. Congratulations. And so this is moving on from this old energy into this new. Like, all the, like, taking, okay, I'm going to be brave and I'm going to get back out there. And then the information coming into you with a passion. So you have passion to move forward again and heal from this energy, and this beautiful cup of love coming in. Someone that is, the sun is shining down on, that's going to make you really happy and part of your destined path. And that you'll empower each other to be on the journey that you came here to be on. And this might even be changing location, and maybe even across the water. Like, it could be representing moving to a different continent or some sort of energy like that. And a lot of the pentacles, if there was any loss, the universe is going to make sure, and God, that you're going to get 100-fold back, letting go of the disappointment. You know, picking up these 2 cups was the best thing you could do. A good attitude can get you pretty far, because it ended that cycle when you decided to do that. And whatever happens with them, happens with them. That's up to them. They're going to have to deal with whatever, you know, energy is, karma is coming their way, because definitely there's there's going to be some karma coming in here. You don't just, you know, like do this to other human beings and not expect to get any karma back. Like, this is really sad. It's a hard energy to deal with, for sure. So I just am saying congratulations for getting back up and being brave. I'm going to clarify this for those of you who want clarification. If you're leaving the reading here, if you're still here, please do give it a like and comment, and consider subscribing. You're more than welcome. I'm going to clarify with my oracle, Tales from the Vector, and I started this in 2007. I'm an artist. I completed 64 paintings by 2020, and these paintings are really big. Some of them, they're dragons from the future, from the Intergalactic Federation of Light. I have about 30 paintings that are 3 feet by 4 feet, and they had a lot of detail, and they're all from different areas of the world and the universe, actually. And I had a lot of fun doing it. But now I've decided, okay, I'm going to bring it out in a bigger way. I do have a website. On my website, talesfromthevector.com, I have a gallery of paintings, and the numbers on the cards I'm using here are representing the paintings in the order that they are there. And so you can check it out if you want to. I will, in the description box below, I will put the cards here with the numbers in the order they appear, so that you can take a look at it if you want. This is talking about guiding stars. So this is, yeah, your crown chakra. Like, that's the communication from source energy coming in loud and strong. You know, thank goodness that you let go of that, because this energy behind this was really challenging and not beneficial in any way. So it's about using that intuition, and that's talking about using your North Star energy. And this is talking about having devotion to your destined path. So temperance energy is like an earth angel energy. It's a higher vibration where you are meant to bring energy down from the heavens to earth, and be like this, add your own special qualities to earth to make it a better place. And for the fact that you stayed on your destined path, I mean, and you were wounded, and you had a lot going on here. And it wasn't just with this lover. I'm getting like you felt like when you were at down, the people that you thought would be there for you were not there for you. And you know, that's really hard to accept. But like, when you start doing, you see more and more of this, like the more readings I do, but even just from my own life experience, watching people and how it's surprising how the people that you thought for sure would be there for you, the ones that you have done a lot for, that you've, you know, bent over backwards for, that you've forgiven several times, they're nowhere to be found. But then there's people that you just never would have expected to show up that do. And so that's kind of like, you know, life has a certain mystique to it when it comes to that kind of energy. So the foolhardy journey, yeah, that's what you're on now. So that's when you're on, you know, if you have this is talking about this wounded warrior energy. No matter what, you stayed on your destined path. You didn't give in to the temptation and say, well, I may as well go be in that energy instead. I'm not getting anything out of this here. It's hard, because a lot of times when you're on this journey, you'll see other people, like there, while you're laying on the ground and you've been putting all this work into everything, other people seem to be living the good life, and they might even be doing it with your money. And it's really challenging to stay on that destined path. But the energy is so much more satisfying when you do, because it's a lasting and having respect for yourself. You know, a lot of people think that that the opposite of love is hate, but it's actually lack of respect. And so when people are this disrespectful to you, then you have to do, like, that's when you realize, oh, okay, it's worse than hate. Hate still implies that they care on some level. When people leave you like this, it's just totally like zero respect. And so we have Libra here, and the Libra energy is talking about when you're a mature adult and you're ready to make deep commitments such as marriage. That's the Libra energy. And you know, the new moon right now that we're in, this Aries energy, opposite on the wheel is the Libra energy. So it's like, you know, talking about maybe when you got into this relationship, you both were just immature and didn't really, you know what you really wanted, or didn't understand what was involved in a, you know, a commitment, such a strong commitment as marriage. And so this is just talking about, you know, being able to now anticipate your journey because you are mature enough after everything you've gone through. I also want to point out that when my horoscope signs show up in a reading that's collective like this, I'm not talking about an individual. I'm talking about the energy of each sign. What can we learn from that energy of that sign, the state of being. Every sign has its strengths and weaknesses, and we can learn from that. And we all have, you know, most of us have at least, you know, 10 or so of the signs. Some of us have all of them in our birth chart. So, you know, somewhere in us there's a little bit of each of these energies, and even if not in our chart, we still can learn from them. And so this energy is talking about manifesting, and that comes from your sacral chakra. And so when you're in a lot of fear and you're put down and your life is in danger and you don't have what you need to move forward in life, when you don't have, you know, you're left out in the cold like that, it can be really scary and hard to manifest at that level. It's like that cold energy isn't great for manifestation. We do have the Capricorn energy coming in here. Yeah, that's when the world is changing. Capricorn energy is the most mature of all the pentacle signs, and so it's talking about manifesting, and it's the most ambitious of all the signs. Capricorn energy is ruled by Saturn, and Saturn energy, when it's at its strongest, is about being responsible. You know, if you want something done, ask a Capricorn. They're the most, like, if they give you their word, I'm going to get that done, they generally are very disciplined and they will do what they need to. They'll take consistent steps of action towards their goals. And, you know, the glyph for them is a mountain goat climbing, that can climb a mountain on the front end, and on the hind end it's got a dolphin tail. So imagine trying to climb a mountain with a dolphin tail, you know. And so that energy is ruled by Saturn, and so is the this energy, Saturn's box. And so this sometimes people with high level of ambition, you know, take the shortcuts basically to get where they're going. But we can see even in the news now what's happening in the world right now. That's not the way to go. It's a short term and not very satisfying journey, really. In the end, it usually doesn't. We're seeing how it's not turning out that well for a lot of the people that were have some of the most talented, wealthy, intelligent people in the world that have so many gifts, and they end up in that energy, and it's like, wow, how does that happen? We have the Aquarius energy coming in, and this energy coming in with Uranus. Uranus rules the Aquarius energy, and it's talking about, instead of trying to go back and like fix problems by overthinking and sitting in like this energy here of thinking and thinking and thinking, is to actually do a little experiment. Like, if I try doing it this way, is it going to work? Would that make things better? And then you observe the result and give it maybe a couple months. And if you notice, yeah, that's actually working, I'm getting better results in my business or whatever, if I just made this one little change, then you do more of that, and then you do another little experiment. And as you keep doing that, I like it because it's taking action, you know, and then taking, you know, and then seeing what the results are. And at least you have something that you can go by, rather than wondering, well, if I try this, I wonder if that'll happen. You can get in that loop and get stuck there for a long time. We have dissemination of information. So that's this information, the tactics energy, when a bunch of snowflakes get together and they want what's not theirs, and they want it without having to work for it. And, you know, a lot of times when we're in a position like that, we'll be like, we know something's wrong, but there's an elephant in the room, but we do not want to see it. Elephant? What elephant? And a lot of times this dissemination of information is when people talk in circles kind of around you, so that, you know, it's kind of like they purposefully mix it up so that it causes, you know, like, you know, every profession has its own kind of talk. Like politicians talk in a certain way, doctors talk in a certain way. Sometimes you have to go look up what the heck they were talking about, you know, that kind of energy. Google it. We have disruption, and what's fun for some is not fun for everyone. Yeah, you know, it's disruption in your life. This is, you know, sitting right on having to walk away from a relationship, and then that implies if you were married, divorce, and then it's also about dividing property. It's a lot to deal with a lot of the time, and a lot of people end up going through it. And what's the reason for that? Sometimes jealousy. You know, and it's really interesting that jealousy is a karmic space that we can all fall into, you know, with ease. But what's interesting is that we can actually be jealous of ourselves. Like, you might be jealous of yourself before you entered this relationship. Maybe things were going along really well, and then, you know, and then this happened, and now you're like, why did I do that? And you could be bitter for the rest of your life. You could be in that energy, but if you choose to, okay, I'm going to turn around and see what's still standing, be grateful that it's standing, appreciate it, and move forward. Best energy, best decision you could have made. And the Taurus energy. So it's interesting because Uranus is moving out of the sign of Taurus and into the sign of Gemini. So it will be, Uranus will be in Gemini for the next 7 to 8 years. And the last time Uranus was in Gemini was in 1941 to 1949, when World War II was going on. So this is a lot of talk about learning to give and take, and sometimes, you know, like it's having to learn from it. So I do hope, like, it's not like to have that feeling of being able to maybe as a world, us moving forward, you know, that we learn something from World War you know, II, that we don't have to repeat that experience, that kind of energy. Learning about the give and take. The Taurus is the toddler of the universe, and Uranus is leaving that energy to be more in Gemini, which is, you know, Gemini is an air sign, and in way more, less about the material and more about the like the mind energy, like idealism and that kind of, in some ways it's that kind of energy. Uranus is a very intellectual and maybe finding better solutions through problems rather than, you know, fighting in a material way. And so perhaps this energy, we have the Hangman. So this is about being like taking the time to hang from the tree of knowledge upside down, get a different perspective before taking action. And I feel that that pretty much says the energy that we need to be in that balanced way. You don't want to be really impulsive in this energy, because with all those planets that moved into the new energy of Aries, we have to learn to let go of our attachments to the way we used to do things that was working, because it may not work anymore. I mean, we can experiment with it a little bit, like if we're in the Aquarius energy. And you know, we have moved into the age of Aquarius. We can't tell yet, really. I think we can't, it's hard to tell because it's a 2,160-year event going from one age to another. And, you know, God bless the hippies, but from the 60s, but they really made it sound like all lovey-dovey. The Aquarius energy is like has been a little bit less than that. The way it's coming in, it's a, you know, it's a different energy. It's you know, very AI. We may be noticing a lot of that AI energy coming in. So this is talking about doing your best to stay balanced, you know, in between extremes, and to take action from a place where you, you know, you're not like impulsive. And the best thing is to have an open mind right now. Having an open mind and being willing to listen to the other side of the story, I think could really take people a long way right now. And so maybe if we all get into that energy, we'll have more balance overall. I did enjoy this reading. I do hope you have too. I've been finding the readings the last few days, I've been really enjoying the fact that they're so full of information, kind of like reconfirming, hey, you know, these are challenging times, but the earth has been through many challenging times in the past. We just have now more access to information, so we're getting a day-by-day, you know, update on it, right? And so much information coming in so fast. So I do hope you've enjoyed it. Give it a like and comment if you have, and consider subscribing if you resonate with the energy of the channel. I would be honored if you did so. I will be back with another daily reading for you again tomorrow. Bye for now.